course, they had to wash their bags. They had to wash their bags. They had to ensure that they also tidy up every other thing, their shoes, their shelves, their books. All of these things are very essential. And then, of course, begin to allow them to start doing it right from age 7. Just supervise the outcome, not the task, so that you can actually give them autonomy to become independent children.
Okay, doctor, I know that kids thrive on structure and routine. You know, you walked us through some of these things on one of our episodes, right? And now you've given your own practical tips. Your children are grown. We have some parents whose kids are still much younger, probably in creche or even in preschool. So, and how can they prepare these kids for resumption, knowing that kids thrive on structure and routine? We know that preparation reduces the first week stress, especially for those younger ones, and then it sets the tune for academic success and emotional readiness. So what advice do you have for parents with younger kids?
Okay, so for parents with younger kids, the first thing is that you have to embody all these things. If you don't embody it, if you're not a parent that personally you live by routine, you live by systems, you're going to struggle because you would start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. And that is even much more destructive for the children in your care. So one thing I even always tell people, even as singles, is that live your life holistically, not just because of yourself, but because of the home you are about to build. So they have to first off embody a life of routine themselves as much as possible, build it into their subconscious, intentionally wake up at a particular time, get things done at a particular time, go to bed at a particular time. Now, there are going to be days when your routines are not going to be perfect, right? But at least say 80% of the time, the parents have to first of all get that going. That's number one. Number two, you need to know your child. And that is a huge responsibility of the parents. I'm sure the next question you're asking me is, Dr. Toyin, how do I get to know my child? Through observation, through questioning, right? And you can never, ever know the entirety of a human being because we are dynamic in nature, we're fluid. But that is the place where communications and conversations come to play. So you want to be able to talk to your children about the resumption and not back. A lot of parents yell. Yes, I used to be a victim, but I had to pay to learn how to yell as a parent because that was the way I was raised. I was formatted. So I had to pay for a 21-day challenge on how not to yell. And I'm better for it, right? So another thing is that remember that during the holidays, ideally, all parents should lessen on the routine and allow the children to at least have a breather. So it will then require that we begin to reintroduce the routine gradually, gently, right? Because you don't also want to come boom, like a shocker. So what you then want to do is start shifting their bedtime, their wake up time, their meal time, you know, to the back to school rhythm gradually. Let their body adjust gradually also before resumption. Because that way it reduces the morning stress for both you as the mom or the dad and for the child, okay? It's also important that you declutter. You declutter their space. You know, I do that intentionally, even though my children are big grown. Declutter. Usually, the long holiday, you realize something. If you are very observant, the children will have outgrown so many things. Their last academic textbook is no longer relevant. Most of their wares, their clothing, all right? You also notice that even some of the things they use, shoes, socks, so help to declutter. So as little as that will be, it can actually do a lot. Then pray, prepare, and also prophesy on their lives. Okay? It's important because the spiritual controls the physical. So we can't just throw them back into the school environment. You may also want to check in with their emotions and their fears. So last academic session, there were some girls in my son's class that he kept saying, God, please, I don't want these girls to be in my class in this new academic session. I was like, is it that serious, you know? So I played, sometimes I was very serious about it. And of course, the first thing I asked him when he got back home yesterday was, so how was the class reshuffling? You want to know? I'm not going to tell you. So I think those are some of the tips that can really, really help.
All right, thank you, Dr. Tony. If I got what you said correctly, you said it is important to set routines because setting routines and being consistent with them reduces stress and kind of putting structure in place. We should organize materials, sort uniforms, shoes, school supplies. We should do all of those ahead of time. We should do short reviews with the kids. We should involve the kids.
Check-ins with their emotions.
We should check in with their emotions, which is very, very, very important. So preparing them for school is beyond the books, the uniform, the school fees, and checking in with their emotions, regardless of their age.
Yes.
Did those impression the babies?
Yes, yes.
How do we check in with their emotions?
In fact, okay, so the beautiful thing is, I love that question. Did you know that as a pregnant woman, you can begin to check in with your child even in your belly? A lot of moms.
Mama, let us hear more. Tell us, please.
Can you still hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
I'm saying that even as a pregnant mom, you have to be able to develop the capacity to check in with your child's emotions, even while they're still in your womb.
Please share with us.
Yes. Okay, so interestingly, one thing that most moms just they just take for granted, and they feel that, oh, I mean, I've not seen this child, I've not brought forth this child. So, I mean, what is Dr. Toyin saying? So, by the grace of God, as a biological mom and as an educational psychologist, right? I was privileged to be an educational psychologist before I became a mom. So I guess that foundational knowledge helped me when I was pregnant. So as a matter of fact, virtually everything I did when I was pregnant for my children is what they are doing today. That is how powerful and how intentional you have to be as a pregnant woman. And that's why even doctors would advise, if you're a smoker, if you were a drinker, as much as possible, abstain from it when you're pregnant. So I remember vividly when I was pregnant for my first child, who is going to be 15 in a couple of weeks, I couldn't get a full-time job then. I just finished my master's. I just got to be an educational psychologist. So I had to go and learn craft with my hands, right? So I had to, virtually my dining table was my work table. So I was always making jewelry, selling and all of that. And today, as I speak, my daughter has decided to be a fashion consultant. Right? So that is how powerful that can be on the lives of the children that we raise. And I remember those days when I wake up to work, even in the belly, my daughter was literally awake, even in the middle of the night. And when I was in my third trimester, that was the time when, you know, I was actively, the third trimester, when I was actively, I could feel her body movement, okay? And I would realize when I wake up to work, she was awake. When I go back to sleep, even early hours of the morning, she was asleep. And that is to let us know that every single thing we do counts. When I was pregnant for my son, I was always going for trainings. Okay, so after I put to bed for my daughter, I got a job, I started working, and as an educator, we go for a lot of continuous professional development, right? And right now, my son loves books. He can devour 3 novels in a day. Academically, he had the Zenith Award for his graduation. That was last academic term. Overall best in sciences, okay? And then both of them got best behaved children for their entire stream, not just their arm. So what does that signify? That signifies that even though I was quite conscious of what I was doing, but I'm talking about over 10 years of things I did way back then. And it's actually impacting now. So my son's brain is like magnetic in nature. Because I remember then I was doing my diploma to become a certified Montessorian. I was running EYFS course in Australia. I was doing like 3 courses simultaneously as at that time. And my son right now is
the bookworm. Wow.
So you can now imagine now talking about a child in crèche. So for the child in crèche, why do you think children cry? Did anybody teach them how to cry? Have you asked yourself that question? Did anybody teach a child to cry? Nobody did, because naturally they have been wired with those emotions. Our job as custodians, as caretakers, as minders, is to be able to take a pause, study more, dig deeper, read more, and to understand the first 2-3 years of a child's growth and development. Time will not allow me to go into the depth, but at least you know the aspect of the sensory motor, all right, the aspect of the pre-occupational level, then on and on and on and on like that. So through their senses, you could perceive children's emotions. It's not far-fetched at all. And that's why when a child is uncomfortable, even whether heat or cold, the child will respond. That's the emotions at work. When a child is full and he or she has eaten well, you see him smiling and playing. Who taught the child how to smile and how to play? So it also determines the prepared environment. When we bring in the children, how prepared is that crèche? How prepared is the home environment as well? So I could go on and on. So let me allow you.
Yes, doctor, I know you could go on and on and on and on. So parents, whether you have a baby in crèche, in preschool, in grade school, or even in higher school, remember that it is essential that you know and understand their emotions. Give them a hug when need be, especially those in crèche. When they are crying, don't just say, go, 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 go. Look for ways to,
even to adulthood, Benedicta, I hug my children every single morning. Every single morning. It impacts on their self-esteem. It impacts on their self-confidence. You can never over-hug your child. Never. It even has a lot of hug your child. Yes, it even has positive impact on you as the parent. You remain younger because there is a transference of when you hug, right? It is a win-win. You may be thinking you are giving a hug, but have you thought about it? You are getting a hug in response.
My God. Doctor, please, let's not go that way, because I know that we're not going to leave here today if we dive into that. Okay, so mom, remember, moms, please remember that your presence at home is your superpower. Use it to make the transition smooth and stress-free. And doctor, a quick one for parents that are working class parents, to our working moms. We know that juggling office demands and school prep isn't easy, but with some planning, we can make things work beautifully. So I know that some of the tips you've shared earlier can also be relevant to working moms. But are there a few tips you would like to add? Because really, it can be
Yes,
very overwhelming sometimes.
absolutely. The first tip I will say is ask for help.
Mm,
Ask for help. Don't ever feel or behave like a superwoman. I'm saying this because it was a weakness for me. I
mm,
learned it a bit late. All right? Ask for help from your spouse. If you can get a help in the house, get it, although you know you are then raising another additional child. So don't think because you've gotten a physical help. That's why I'm saying that. So you have to know that you're now responsible for another child, even if the child is a teenager or just a young adult, okay? Because you also have to take cognizance and take care of the person that is taking care of your children. Otherwise, you are just
mm,
joking. You are a joker, all right? So I'm saying that, and I'm saying it over and over again because I experienced a lot of burnout when I was raising my children as a I'm still a working mom, but actively right now, at least I have a bit of flexibility. I mean, having my 9 to 5 there.
mm,
So that's the first tip. Number two, run your home as an organization. Run it as a system.
mm.
Have a structure. Draw an organogram. Yes, Benedicta. Yes. And have every member of the family have a role to play. Draw up job descriptions with KPIs. Serious, that it may look as though, what is doctor saying? Is this not too complex? We're talking of just raising children, yeah. But if you can sit down and do this in the long
Organogram,
term,
KPI. Organogram, KPI. Okay.
yes,
That's
in the long run, your life is going to be easier for it. Now,
mm,
one of the most powerful things you can do, one of the things that overwhelms a lot of moms also, aside from taking care of children, is feeding. Food, what are we going to eat? Once the food is getting
mm,
running down, see, having a food timetable is not Oyibo things. It's not luxury. If I explain the 10 benefits of having a food timetable for you, you'll be shocked. It
we'll
helps you
talk
to
about it on
know.
our next episode.
So
Doctor.
let me just share two. Let me share two.
Mm,
Number one,
okay.
it helps you to know when your food ban is running low. So it's
Mm,
easier for you to refill. So home administration is a skill in its entirety. Number two, it then helps you to be able to intentionally have healthy meals.
mm.
So Benedicta, I said two, so I'm stopping there.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah, so stay home moms, now working class mom. From what Dr. Tony said, we can plan ahead, prepare meal, share responsibilities, get make or take advantage of our support system, right? If I get you, involve dad, involve older siblings, involve grandma, involve your mother-in-law. Mother-in-law should not be your headache. This is a good way to pet mother-in-law and use them well. So you should not be fighting with mother-in-laws, really. So shared responsibilities. Okay, Working moms, okay, they should have organogram and KPIs. So I would like to rephrase that to using tech wisely and then organizing everything they need to do so they can save time and all. Wow, doctor, my studio manager is already looking at me. So he's saying, tick says the clock, tick, tick. What we have to do quick. So I'd like to say, working moms, your strength lies in your planning. If I pick from what Dr. Tony has said, your strength lies in your planning. So it's not about doing it alone. It's not about doing it all alone, but about doing it smart. Wow, wow, wow. We have someone joining us today, Anita. Anita, do you have any questions for Dr. Tony before we proceed? And for everyone listening to us, you can drop your questions, your comments, whatever you want us to know in the chat. Even if you're listening to the rebroadcast, we would like to hear from you. Anita, you have any questions for Dr. Tony before we proceed to rounding up? Okay, so we proceed. So beyond the books and uniform, let's not forget. Oh, okay,
sorry.
please go ahead.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
I don't really have a question, but I've been so wowed. I thought I'm informed, but I'm like, where has she been all my life? Because I like see the loopholes. You know, when she talked about hugging your kids. I remembered one time recently my teen hugged me, and I just realized I've not felt like this for a very long time. And I don't know why he did that. And for a very long time, we've not really hugged since he was 7 till, I felt so deeply happy, and I felt these tears, and I wish I could do it often, but I get to have this restraint. I don't know what I would call it, but I feel I don't have that relationship that makes me free in making hugging an easy thing between us. But it's something I want. And I noticed that we go lock heads sometimes whenever I make decisions or try to put him right, especially like lately the academic aspect of it. um we're trying to get a good school for him. I'm thinking I need to change his school for his WAEC, to help him boost his results. That's like getting a good school that can put him through, because I feel the school he's attending at the moment don't have the capacity or capability to help him have a distinction. He's an A student, but there are a lot of laggings. So
Okay,
we're thinking of
we could take
getting.
this off air.
Okay,
Right?
ma.
Yes,
Okay,
for
ma.
confidentiality reasons, I think it's
Okay, ma.
better we take this off air.
Okay,
We
ma.
could connect, and then
Yeah.
I would be able to share insightful ideas with you. Yes.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you so much for that robust feedback.
Thank you, Dr. Toyin.
Over
Thank
to you, Benedicta.
Thank you, Anita, for calling in. Yeah, and for the feedback. So inspiring. I'm also going to do more of hugging. I will. Yeah. So in rounding up, I would say that beyond the books and uniform, let's not forget the emotional side of resumption. It gives the kids a good start. And to kindly summarize some of the things I have picked from Dr. Tony today, we need to talk positively about school, frame it as exciting, not stressful. She talked about how she listened to her kids, talking about the kind of people in the classroom. We have to listen to their feelings. Some kids may feel anxious about school. Let's listen to their feelings and then provide solution. Let's encourage independence. For the grown-ups, teach them simple tasks. Okay, packing their uniforms ahead, preparing inner wears, putting things together. If you want
think, sorry, let me just cut in. don't wait till they are grown-ups. You're gonna have it tough. Okay? For every age, from age 3, there are age-appropriate chores.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I had to cut in so that we don't confuse our listeners. From age 3, there are age-appropriate chores, and that was how I started raising my children. So I can travel to anywhere in the world now, and my mind is at peace, because this is something I started with them over 9, 12, 13 years ago. And as each year evolved, I was, giving them the age appropriateness and evolving them as well. Okay, till the point where I literally don't do anything regarding chores in the house, except on days when I just feel like I want my house to be cozy. But on a normal day, I do little or no cooking, I do little or no cleaning, I do little or no, right? So please don't wait till when they are grown. And there's so many things. In fact, there is something called executive functioning skills. You may want to go and research on that because of our time. And anytime you call me for sessions, we don't always have enough time. So when you raise children to start doing chores early, you begin to develop their executive functioning skills, which is needed in the workplace, whether they are entrepreneurs or they become work professionals. So that is critical. And then it also increases their sense of responsibility, citizenship to the family first, to their community next, to the nation at large. So it's all encompassing. So even if you have maids in the house, you have to go the extra mile. Let me stop there to make sure they are growing and learning.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Toyin. So from a very young age, as early as 3, we can start giving kids age-appropriate tasks. We can show them how to tie their shoelaces, pack and unpack their school bag, pack their lunch box, and so on. Yeah. So, and again, it is very important to celebrate milestone. A small treat or a note in their lunch box can boost their confidence. Our dear listeners, you've been with us this long. You're simply amazing. So whether you're listening now or you're going to listen to the rebroadcast, we would like to hear from you. Call in. You want to get Dr. Toyin's contact? Call in. Drop it in the chat. We'll reply you. Call in or send a message. And one thing I would like to leave you with is this as we wrap up. Preparation is not just about school supplies. Preparing school kids for resumption is not just about school supplies. It's about building confidence. It's about routines. It's about excitement in our children. Remember, every child is your child. So what to make happen for your child, try making it happen for other children. And what goes around comes around. Dr. Toyin, one last word from you as we wrap up.
Wow. So what would I love to say? I thought I was actually done. So what I would love to really say also is the place of the use of our words. Affirmation, right? They're so powerful. So powerful. Even the Bible says that the tongue looks like a very small part of our body, but it can ruin an entire city. Okay? And as parents, every word we speak to our children, whether positive or negative, is a prophecy. I'll repeat. As parents, every single word you say to your child, in their presence, in their absence, is a prophecy. So if you are conscious of this, you want to make sure you speak life, you speak hope, you speak faith, you speak love, you speak wisdom, you speak favor, you speak excellence, and you speak legacy. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. We speak live. Your words are live. Thank you so much, Dr. Toyi. And we're going to have you again and again and again and again and again, again and again. Thank you,
Oliver Twist. Benedicta, the Oliver Twist.
Thank you so much, Dr. Toyi. It's always nice having you. God bless you abundantly. And to our amazing listeners, remember not to freak out because God got your back. Bye for now.